Hey, this is Amar. In this video, I'll be talking about how I think this coronavirus could trigger a mass awakening. So this is a different look, it's a different scenery. That's just because it's a different type of video, so I'm just going to dive straight into it. Why do I think this? Well, my life has been quite challenging, let's say, and I've learned to just find positives in seemingly negative situations. And what we have here now is a very difficult situation, right? And I'm not saying it's not bad. I'm not saying we don't need to improve it. We need to really deal with it as effectively as we can. But what are the lessons? What can we learn from this? That's what I'm kind of more interested in almost. And this has led me to believe that this could potentially trigger a mass awakening, right? Why do I think this? Well, as a result of this, because it's a global thing, it's bringing people together. There's less separation between races and countries and nations. It's almost like we're being forced into this state of oneness. We're just numbers now. We're just statistics. All of us. It doesn't matter how much money you've got, where you come from. None of it matters anymore. You're just a number. So it's forcing this sense of oneness upon us. We're starting to see other people as brothers and sisters, connected. We may even start looking at our own lives, how we've been living, things we've been doing, the type of relationships we've got, how we've been treating people, how we waste our time. We might be asking all these questions because it looks like there's a real threat hanging over us. So naturally, these things rise to the surface. But as all of this stuff happens, and we start to look at our lives and ourselves and other people in a different way, that's an increase in consciousness. That's an increase in awareness on a massive scale. And that massive scale is what will raise human consciousness. I'm convinced that this is what's going to happen. That this was almost necessary because we haven't learned, human beings haven't learned how to treat one another or learn how to live. We've had plenty of chances. Still greed and power rule. And even them things are helpless when it comes to something like this. Just this little microbe, right? It looks seemingly nothing. And we're these mighty humans. But we're powerless against this, against nature. So it's a massive wake-up call. We haven't learnt the lesson. So now it's been forced upon us. Are we going to learn now? Are we really truly going to start living the way that we should be living, personally and collectively? So these are the sort of questions I've been asking myself. And a lot of stuff's coming to the surface. A lot of fear's coming to the surface, naturally. If you're a sensitive person, or even if you're not, you're going to sense there's a lot of fear and anxiety out there now. You walk down the street, you can just sense it. The vibe's different. And that's scary. That is what is coming up in a lot of people, collectively and individually. But for the people, my spiritual brothers and sisters who have been on this journey of awakening, I would say that we're in a better, stronger position to manage this uncomfortableness, because if you've been doing this work effectively, you've been dealing with a lot of uncomfortableness within yourself. So when it comes up now, it shouldn't be too overwhelming. You should be able to get some kind of handle on it versus someone who's done none of this work, right? And it's ultimately leading us to become much stronger people. It's the spiritual seekers, the people who've been doing this work, who are really, truly needed now. This is almost as though that we've been prepared, we've been getting trained for situations like this. I know we weren't expecting it to be like this. Maybe we were just working on ourselves to improve our own situation and the situation of people around us. But now we've been dealt this. So what are we going to do? We are the ones who need to stand up now and be that pillar of strength for others. the strength you've been cultivating is to serve humanity. And I find it so interesting how this has happened at the beginning of 2020. The new decade. This new decade that everyone thought was going to bring so much change and amazing things. Isn't that just a strange coincidence why it happens now? Right at the beginning as well, the first couple of months in. Massive wake-up call. Get your shit together. It's huge. We don't know how it's going to go. So how do I suggest people deal with this? Well, the first thing I suggest is gratitude and appreciation for wherever you are now. There's no easier time or better time to really feel grateful for everything you have, the relationships you have, what you've been through, whatever you've been able to develop within yourself, all the good work you've done. Just feel appreciation for that. Because you only have this moment. And really start to cultivate them positive feelings as much as you possibly can. Someone I'm really big on is Joe Dispenza. He's one of my mentors, obviously not personally, but someone who I really look up to. And he talks about how fear and anxiety and stress really suppresses your immune function, right? But positive feelings like gratitude and love and trust really upregulate health-promoting genes. So now's the time to really start getting into them good feeling states, even though that seems and looks counterintuitive, right? Everyone else is scared, afraid and anxious, and here's me telling you to start embodying positive states. But what else can you do? Like, you just have to let go. Once you've taken care of as much as you can, once you've taken as much responsibility, like washing your hands and social isolation and keeping yourself clean and doing all that stuff, after that, what's left? What else can you do? It's literally out of our hands. The only thing you can do is you can practice letting go of that worry and just trusting, having faith and trust, and really cultivating them feelings within you. It's almost what I'm asking you to do is have trust in nothing. That's what I'm asking you to do. Have trust in nothing. When you develop that level of trust and really start to embody it and live with it, then no matter what happens, you'll be okay. You'll be cultivating that internal strength. And this is what we need right now. As scary as it is, scary as this is, try not to get dragged down into it, because that is not going to help serve you or help you resist or defeat this illness. So yeah, this is kind of unexpected. It's difficult, it's challenging, but I feel like the spiritual seekers out there who've been doing the work should hopefully be able to manage this better, use it as a lesson, as a test to keep growing, keep pushing higher and higher. Like I said, I think this is going to have a global effect on the level of human consciousness. We're going to become more loving as a result of this. It was almost necessary, dare I say. But I really truly hope everyone is safe. It blows over quickly. And I really hope we learn the lessons that we need to learn from this. So that's everything I wanted to talk about. God bless you all. Stay safe. See you again.